Some have suggested in this hearing that the role of Congress is to pass laws and it's up to the court to consider constitutionality. I would point out that every one of us takes an oath to defend the Constitution.
Thank you for the lecture.
And that is a fundamental obligation of every member of this body, because I believe in the First Amendment, I believe in the Second Amendment, I believe in the Fifth Amendment, and I would suggest that every one of us has an obligation to the Constitution. I would point out that I am not unfamiliar with the Heller case. Indeed, I represented 31 states before the U.S. Supreme Court in the Heller case. So I have an intimate familiarity with that case, having been an active part of litigating it and winning 5-4 before the Supreme Court. And what the Supreme Court said in Heller, it did say there are some restrictions on the Second Amendment that are permissible. And for example, it specifically identified the current prohibition on fully automatic machine guns. But it also said that weapons that are in common use, such as in that case handguns, were the principal issue being discussed. And the same arguments that have been suggested here about why so-called assault weapons can be banned were made by the District of Columbia in Heller for why handguns could be banned. And the Supreme Court said, no, if they're in common use for self-defense, they cannot be banned consistent with the Second Amendment. We have heard testimony that there are some 4 million weapons that would be covered by this bill. I would suggest on any measure, 4 million weapons qualifies as in common use, and so under the terms of Heller, they cannot constitutionally be prohibited. About the role of public opinions polls. When it comes to constitutional rights, what matters is what the Bill of Rights says. It doesn't matter what might be popular at the moment. We've seen regimes across the face of the earth come and take away people's guns, strip away their rights to defend themselves, and sometimes it's been very popular. And yet, it is an inevitable prelude to tyranny. Our country was founded on a radical proposition, which is that our rights don't come from government. They come from God. And the purpose of the Constitution, Thomas Jefferson said the Constitution serves as chains to bind the mischief of government. And the entire reason for the Second Amendment is not for hunting, it's not for target shooting. Those are both wonderful. It's great to go with your family, with your kids, to go hunting, to get to go skeet shooting, but that's not what the Second Amendment is for. The Second Amendment is there so that you and I can protect our homes and our families and our children and our lives. And it's also there as a fundamental check on government tyranny.